Event planning is a ton of hard work, especially if you want to plan a successful event. Now, just like anything that's difficult to do, it requires the right tools. Now, Microsoft Word, Google Sheets, sending emails back and forth, those are okay ways. Those are definitely tools, and you can get an event done that way. Just like if you can also write down notes and checklists in a notebook. But how do you collaborate with someone who's maybe not necessarily in your same office, or maybe they are not even necessarily in your same home if you're planning maybe a family get together and different things? That's when you need additional tools. Now, just like this screwdriver, I could use the handle to drive a nail home. I want to put a nail in my wall. I could use the handle and hit the nail, but it's not going to be as successful if I had an actual hammer. So what is the tool designed to do? Event Builder Pro is designed to help you plan better events. So what can an event builder do? Number one is it can help you through collaborative event planning. What do I mean by that? Well, collaborative event planning is when you are building alongside other people. One of the things that Event Builder can do is Event Builder can help you by sharing all of the details through the internet with other people in real time. So rather than having to write out a timeline on a Microsoft Word document, you would come to Event Builder, you'd build out your timeline, and then you would invite them in the people section. You would say, I want to add a builder, type in their email address and send it to them. And then you can all share all the details. Instead, if you're using Microsoft Word, what you would have to do is you would have to type out the Microsoft Word document, save it, send it through the email. They have to download it. They have to change it. They have to save it, and then they have to send it back. By the time that you reach your event, you're probably on version 8 or version 9 of that Microsoft Word going back and forth. And then you're like, wait, do you have the final version? Do I have the final version? Who has it? Which email thread is it in? Which version are we on? And so on and so forth. So what Event Builder Pro does is it takes all of your tools like Microsoft Word and Excel, but it is purposely built to help you plan better events. The second thing that Event Builder Pro does for you is it takes all of those tools and it puts them into one place for you. Now, I already showed you a couple of the tools that you can use in Event Builder Pro, but let's take a look at a couple of more. So when you create an event, you immediately come to the details page. Here, you're going to see where you can save the goals of your event, the description, the start time, the start date and time, the end date and time. It automatically calculates how many days you are away until your event starts. You add in how many guests you have. If it's a corporate event or a nonprofit event, who is it for? You can add contacts to it. You can have your venues added there. So see, I have a venue, new venue, number 1 name. So that's just kind of a default one that I typed into the system. And then you can go to the timeline section and you can build out the timeline. You can add in checklists. You can either use something like this that I highly recommend, the pre-event, during event, and post-event checklist, or you can create your own. You can use it as a place to take notes on phone calls or ideas or meetings that you host. You can use it to collect quotes and manage those quotes. You can use it to manage your vendors and keep track of who you have ready to go for your event. And then you can also add in the contacts for your event. So who is a builder, someone that is coming into the system and editing things with you? Who are the staff of it? So they're simply a contact, but you're keeping track of their phone number and their email here in the system, as well as the volunteers and such the same way. You can use the budgeting tool where you can track expense categories. What is your revenue? So whether it's just budget or whether that would be ticket sales or some other way. You can, in real time, track your own transactions, and then it calculates all of the revenue and how much you have remaining versus your planned versus your actual. And then finally, one of the other things that Event Builder Pro does for you, as I mentioned in the quotes section, you can collect quotes and manage those quotes. One of the ways in which you can collect those quotes and manage those quotes is through, because you're already inputting all of this information into the system, it automatically creates a page that you can share publicly. So it takes the details of your event, it puts it into a page that you would then send to someone. And so you can say, okay, here's the event details. Here's my vendors needed. And then here is the plan, so that if you send it to someone, you can say, hey, I would love to get a quote from you for my event. I'm looking for an audio-visual vendor. I need 2 projector screens, a sound system with 2 handheld mics. I want them to be professional, and it's needed for 3 days. Here's a budget, and you can add up to 3 different inspirational photos. And then they can, at the top, they can hit contact you, or they can ask you more questions, or they can simply hit submit a quote. When someone messages you, it's going to show up in your email inbox, but also it's going to show up in your inbox within the Event Builder Pro system also. So the inbox is a great way to communicate with your vendors if they have signed up for an account here in the Event Builder Pro system, if they've submitted a quote, or if you've invited them to join you as a builder on your event, or if they are a collaborator and you've invited them as a builder on your event as well. You can message within the system here as well, so that you can, again, just add on another tool to your tool belt for the collaboration piece. So you don't have to go digging through your text messages. You don't have to go digging through your emails. It's all right here within the Event Builder Pro system. And all of this you can manage as to which detail you want on that public page right here, as well as if you need additional, like let's say, for example, you need a photographer. You would come here and say, okay, well, here's a new vendor that I would like, and here's a whole list of vendors that are there just as suggestions and or ideas for you. So you can add in a new vendor, and then that shows up on the public page. Now, not only is this great for collecting quotes, but as I mentioned, you're also keeping track of who your staff are and who your volunteers are. And so one of the reasons why this page is built is, let's say, for example, you are planning an event and you have a bunch of volunteers. You can send them this page and you can say, hey, if you need to know the details of the event, this is your one-stop shop for all of the details. It's got the goals, the description, start time, end time, the location, and it has the agenda down here at the bottom, which is also known as the timeline. Now, as an event professional myself, one of the things that I needed this system to do, because I needed it for myself, is a lot of times I find myself doing a similar event over and over and over again. Now, sometimes that's the same event year after year. For the last couple of years, I've been involved in a 5K here in my local area, as well as a couple of repeat clients. But not only that, I've also have one event that I keep getting hired for over and over and over again. It's a specific event. And so I needed the Event Builder Pro system to have templates. Now that comes in a couple of different ways. Number one is in this event, when you are on a Plus or a Pro or one of our paid account types, you can have access to templates. And so what that means is you can take an event that you already have. For example, this is a company kickoff, and I could save it as a template, and it would save the timeline as a template, a couple of the details like the start time, end time, things like that. It would save my checklists as a template and my budget as a template. And so here you can see in an actual account, I have a wedding template. So this is a template that I use over and over and over again with my clients. And so I have it built out in such a way where it has a start time, end time, and an event type. And then I have my timeline, and in my timeline details, I have very specific details that are specific to the processional, to the ceremony, like what song is there for the family entrance, what song is there for the bridal party entrance. And then what I do is, as you can see, it keeps going. I have checklists if I want to, but then what I would do is I would come here to my actions, I would hit new event from template, and it would take the details from my event, and then it would import it into a brand new template. So I don't have to take an old event and maybe repurpose it. I'm literally just taking my template and creating a new event from it, and I can do that as many times as my account allows me to. Now that is one of my favorite features in the Event Builder Pro system, and it's incredibly powerful. And finally, the last thing that Event Builder Pro will help you do is if you are a professional event planner. Let's say, for example, you are running your own catering business. You can have a whole list of clients in the client section, and so it acts effectively as a CRM or a customer relationship management software, where you would add in a company as your client, and then you would say, okay, this is my client. And even if it's a couple, you can change the company name would be the couple's name if they're a couple for that wedding. But let's say, for example, it's a company, they're a pizza company. And so you would enter in the company name, and then you can have a whole list of events that you are doing or you have done with that company, with that client. So those are the current tools that are built within the Event Builder Pro system. As the founder of Event Builder, I'm using this daily for my own business that I'm running as a DJ and an MC here in the Northeast Florida area. So I'm using it constantly, but I'm also updating it constantly. In the future, I have plans to add in AI tools. What if there was an AI assistant that would help you write out a script for a certain moment of your event? That's an idea that I have for something that I want to be built into the Event Builder Pro system. Not only that, but as a CRM, I would love to be able to not only keep track of everything, but also be able to sign contracts and hire vendors and interact with my clients that way directly through the system. So that's a quick summary for you as to all of the different ways in which you can use Event Builder. And then be sure to check out other videos that I've created for how to actually create events, manage events, create checklists, and different things like that within the Event Builder Pro system. And if you have not already had a chance to, be sure to go to eventbuilderpro.com and sign up for a free account, which you can create up to 3 events free. Now, those 3 events, you are limited on the number of things that you can do until you upgrade to either a Plus account or a Pro account. And if you would like to see any additional features added to the Event Builder Pro system, please be sure to contact me either through eventbuilderpro.com or you can drop a comment on this video.